Hello, my name is Matthew Muniz. I am going to be walking you through the steps of the problem-solving approach, also known as the PSA. Effectively using the PSA. The problem-solving approach is oftentimes used to address the process of solving workplace problems through written communication. The steps are to plan, research, draft, review, and distribute. Let's take a moment to go through these simple steps. First, we start off with a plan. In the plan step, we define the problems, set goals, and choose technologies that will best communicate to the audience the goals of the document. Also, know what information you have and what information you still need to collect. Next, we research, which includes determining the necessary information, gathering information, and evaluating research. At this point, there will be a lot of information, so make sure to choose the most relevant sources. In the draft process, you need to make sure to confirm the goals and the purpose of the document. Organize the document and integrate visuals. Visuals can be a great way to make your document more exciting, but make sure to have a clear and organized layout to avoid losing your audience in a mess of visuals. We are now at the review step, which includes testing the usability of the document, getting feedback from peers, and editing the document. Make sure the document is easy to use and the format is appropriate for the audience. The most important part of the review step is to edit the document for grammar and spelling errors. The last step is just distribute, where you include the documents that help support your own ideas. We are also sending out the document to the audience at this point. It is now time to determine the final outcomes of the document. Now that we have reviewed the PSA process of plan, research, draft, review, and distribute, I can guide you through my own applications of these steps. This is how I use the problem-solving approach to develop my document. I chose to do the overview of the album cover assignment. I used the PSA while creating my album cover by starting with the first step of making sure I had a plan. I made sure that I understood the format and delivery method in which my audience would be seeing my album cover. The audience would be seeing it digitally because it was being distributed as a PDF file. Research included making sure I had the correct information to complete the assignment according to instructions. This involved choosing a band name by hitting random search on Wikipedia. The process included designing and arranging my album cover by keeping colors and font styles consistent throughout. The original document of my album cover was the first step to the review process. My peers were able to give me some feedback on a few details that needed to be changed. Finally, I distributed my final document through the Blackboard Dropbox as a PDF file as instructed by the professor. The PSA is useful because it allows me to organize my writing to better help the audience understand what I am trying to convey. A few lessons I've learned about myself as a writer are that it is best to keep vocabulary simple and related to the subject of the document to avoid any confusion. Technical jargon and opinions will not convince my audience of what I am promoting through my writing. This is the final version of my album cover from TWC 301. I chose this assignment to demonstrate how I used the problem-solving approach because it was an unconventional way of using the PSA. You should now be able to effectively apply the problem-solving approach to your own professional documents.